Damper is an iconic Aussie bread, and I'm going to show you how to make an easy zucchini version. No campfire needed, you can make this in the comfort of your own home. So the full ingredient list that you need for this recipe is right here, but first of all, don't forget to preheat your oven to 200 degrees fan forced. The first step is to get grating with the zucchini, which is adding a little fresh twist to this recipe. So I want to really finely grate this, so just choose one of the finest settings on your grater. Ta-da! So that's all done, so now let's put that aside. And normally if you were using zucchini in a recipe, you might salt it first, which will draw out some moisture, then squeeze it dry. But I'm just leaving it just as is because one, it's simple, and two, it will just add a little bit of extra moisture to our damper, which is a good thing. So you really need next to no equipment for this recipe, which is why it's such a favourite while camping. So I've just got one big large bowl here, and to that I'm going to add my first ingredient, which is 3 cups of self-raising flour. So we're using self-raising flour in this recipe because it's a bit of a hack bread recipe. There's no yeast in it. The leavening agent in self-raising flour will actually do all of the work, and we don't have to wait for it to rise either. Such a plus. So I'm going to season it with a little bit of cracked pepper as well. Now I'm going to add in 100 grams of cubed butter. Whoop. All gone. Now we're just going to rub that in with our fingertips into the flour. So keep going until the mixture kind of resembles coarse breadcrumbs. This part is actually my favorite part. Just keep rubbing that butter in, super relaxing. Now add in half a cup of finely grated parmesan. This cheesy flavour is going to pair really well with the zucchini. So just lightly toss in that cheese, and now it's in with the zucchini that we grated before. And what we're going to do now is toss that zucchini through our flour mixture so that it's evenly distributed throughout the mix. It's helpful to toss the zucchini through the flour mixture now because once we add the milk, we don't want to overmix. It's a bit like a scone dough. That's looking pretty good, so it's time to add the milk. So this is 3/4 of a cup of milk. So now I'm going to use a flat bladed knife to mix this dough in kind of like a cutting action. What that's going to do is it's going to mean that we're just gently mixing the dough. We're not going to overmix it so it still stays light and fluffy. So this has come together into a really nice dough. So what we're going to do now is lightly flour our surface, and we're going to tip that out and form it into a ball. Depending on how sticky your dough is, lightly flour the top as well. Just shape it really gently. So this is shaped really nicely now, so all that's left to do is to get it onto a tray. So I've just got a lined baking tray here. If you were camping, you can make this in a Dutch oven. That's totally fine, but we're making this in the comfort of home, so a tray is all we need. So get that on there. Now just pat this out to about 20 centimetres around. Now we're going to score the bread with a small sharp knife. So we'll give it a nice beautiful look on top, as well as making it easier to portion later. So I'm just going to do mine into 8. Now I'm going to brush this with a little bit of milk just so it gets nice and golden on top. Now it's off to the oven to bake for 40 minutes. So let's check on it. Oh, it's golden. Take a look, quick. Let's knock on it. No one answered, but it sounds pretty hollow, so that means it's done. Bring it out. It's best served piping hot, so let's get to it. Smells delicious. So now let's carefully slide that off the tray onto our platter. And of course, we have to serve this Aussie classic up with some softened butter and the traditional golden syrup. Yum. So there you have it. Give this recipe a go. It's a super easy Aussie classic with a fresh zucchini twist.